For those who don't know, I'm a big Pokemon guy. I kinda like, catching Pokemon. I recently just finished my Nassel Dex, only for Gen 3 right now. I don't want to think about the other gens yet. Oh boy! What are you gonna do with all this Pokemon you caught? I mean, I guess you could use them in battle, as a treat, but they're mostly gonna be Pokemon boxes. The box. The reason why you go to the PC in the Pokemon Center. That thing. So, let's talk about every type of Pokemon box. Why? Because no one else will do it. I have to do it. It's on me. Please let me do this. I'm up, coach. Let me do it. How this is gonna work is that I'm gonna go through every generation. I'm gonna look at the box. I'm gonna talk about the box. I'm gonna let you know if it's good or not. Most of them are pretty alright. So, I guess we're starting with Gen 1. Oh god. I'm gonna have to go play a Gen 1 Pokemon game, don't I? Oh lord. Gen 1. Sometimes I don't know how this game exists because I swear to god it's just a bundle of glitches in a little cartridge here. This is the glitchiest Game Boy game I've ever seen. You'll take one wrong step and oh no! You did a glitch! Not even noticing! Anyways, with everything never going as intended in this game, the boxes are passable, I guess. In the Gen 1 games, you only get 12 boxes, they can only hold 20 Pokemon, and every time you want to move something around, you gotta save the game for some reason. That's right, you got something in box 2, ooh, so you gotta go save the game now. Also, there's no preview of your Pokemon, it's just a list. It's really boring to look at and also really obnoxious if you're just looking for a certain Pokemon, but you don't remember the name of it, but you remember what it looks like. It doesn't happen too often, at least for me, but I can see it happening to somebody who's, I don't know, new at the game. Also doesn't help that if you try to catch a new Pokemon and your box is full, and I'm not talking about all your boxes, I mean just the one box you last left on your PC, you're not catching that Pokemon. That's fun. Anyways, I don't want to think about this anymore. I want to stop playing a Gen 1 game. Can we at least go to Gen 2? Yeah, let's do that. Oh god, the boxes aren't any better. Gen 2, get this, added previews. You can actually see what Pokemon you're looking at now. Unlike before, where you really didn't have much. You had the summary screen, yeah, but now you have the summary screen and a little picture. That's neat. You get an extra 2 boxes now, I guess that's nice, and everything for Gen 1 applies, basically. Also, Gen 2 added the ability to actually give your boxes names, so if you just don't want to forget that something's in a certain box, or you want a box dedicated for something else, or you can name them really stupid shit. Whatever your heart desires. After Gen 1 and Gen 2 had such mediocre boxes, Gen 3 does the crazy thing. It scraps the old fucking box design and gets fucking rid of it. And now, we have the golden age of boxes. Look how good these things are! They're not an eyesore to look at, or an eyesore to fucking use! You'll notice now that you have 3 major options. Before you can only withdraw and deposit, but now you can this new option called move. And moving is basically the only option you need. Sure, withdrawing is actually nice if you just want to withdraw something quickly and same thing with depositing, but move gives you this more of a hands-on approach to moving around your boxes. You can just select a Pokemon with A and then pick it up, and then you can view its summary, you can move it to another box, you can move it into your party, you can do whatever. On top of that, if you press select, you turn orange. And when you turn orange, you can move multiple Pokemon at once, or just move Pokemon without having that menu pop up. It's just so nice to use, I cannot stress that enough. Plus, now you can just move entire boxes around. You could do so much here. It's just so much easier to just actually organize things now. If you press L and R, you can actually cycle through your boxes pretty quickly. This is something you have to turn on in the menu though, however, but it's totally worth it. I don't even know why normal mode is an option here. Like, It doesn't do anything. It's stupid. Never use normal. It doesn't do anything. There's also an option just to jump to a certain box if you really need to do that. They didn't really need to include this because I think just getting around the boxes is fast enough as it is, but it is really nice if you just want to jump to something without thinking about it too much. Gen 3 has the same amount of boxes that Gen 2 had at 14, but now all boxes can hold 10 more Pokemon, which is 30 per box. This eventually just became the standard, and from now on, every box held 30 Pokemon. You also get a few wallpapers. Nothing crazy, and you only get to unlock one. That's the friend wallpaper. Unlocking this wallpaper is just really weird because it requires you to know what your trainer ID is, and then your secret ID, and then you have to also know a certain code. I genuinely have no idea how the hell you're supposed to figure these things out on your own. Like, yeah, you can use a website for this shit, and that's what I did, but like, when you're playing Emerald back in 2005, how the fuck are you supposed to know this shit? Also, there's move items, which is only in the Emerald, by the way. And I guess this is alright. You can now just like move around items, you can see what they do, and just like with moving around Pokemon, if you press select, you can quickly move the item to item. You can also bag these items and put them in your bag from the PC too. That can be nice. Also, Gen 3 was the first Pokemon game to have a side Pokemon game just for storage. Yeah, that's right. The original Pokemon Bank right here. Pokemon Ruby Sapphire box. Everything I said before applies, but now the boxes are bigger. Instead of holding just 30 Pokemon, they can hold 60. This is the only time in the whole franchise where a box can hold up to 60 Pokemon. And you get 11 more boxes on top of that. So you can store up to 1,500 Pokemon, which is insane. You do get rewards if you store more Pokemon in there, but they're nothing crazy. Just eggs of Pokemon that can learn one special move. This is the only way in Gen 3 to get Surfing Pikachu, so that's neat, I guess. Anyways, this is the best the boxes have been. They're actually usable now. Honestly, Gen 4 didn't add much. This is the first generation that the Pokemon games were on the Nintendo DS. This is mostly for really basic things, like in battle, the touchscreen had all of your options. So you can either just fight in battle, you can look at your items and heal, or you can just swap Pokemon with it. Honestly, it was really convenient to have the touchscreen have all this information on it, so you always had reference of what's going on in the battle. They could have easily just had a menu on the top screen to show all this information, but it's just nice to have this all on one screen. So even when you're swapping Pokemon, you always have a reference to what Pokemon your opponent is using. But we're not here to talk about combat stuff, because this isn't a video about Pokemon battling. It's a video about Pokemon boxes. So what did they use the touchscreen for in this one then? Well, for Pokemon boxes, they're not really used much. Matter of fact, the only new features that were added in Gen 4 were used by the touchscreen. Something I didn't mention on Gen 3 is they added markings. I didn't really go over this because it really had not much to do with the boxes. It was just you could mark a Pokemon. Now you can mark a Pokemon with a symbol, and then you go into the touchscreen there, you can search that Pokemon, kind of. It just highlights them and it makes the other Pokemon opaque. But that is the first search function you do get with the Pokemon boxes. So that's neat, I guess. They also added this way to jump to different boxes on the touchscreen, but it's really slow. That is me actually moving this thing the fastest I could possibly move it. It's really obnoxious. At that rate, you might as well just jump around boxes with either the jump command, which is still in the game, or with LNR, which now you don't need a menu to actually set that up. Okay, before doing this video, I never realized this option was there, but there is a fifth option now when you go to your PC, and that's compare Pokemon. You can compare two Pokemon side by side, and that's really it. You still have the option to withdraw and deposit while doing this, which is really weird, but alright. So basically you're just comparing the Pokemon's level, stats, its nature to another Pokemon, whether it be in your party or just another box. If you touch the little middle button there, you can toggle between its contest stats, its moves, and that's really about it. And that's more or less what I mean by Gen 4 doesn't add much. It's more or less building upon what Gen 3 had, but just adding just little things because there's a touchscreen now, as opposed to like adding a lot more quality of life. Not that the box system right now needs much quality of life, outside of not having the best search function. It works pretty well. You might need to look around more if you're looking for a certain Pokemon, but honestly, not a big deal. So just like Gen 3, there is like a Pokemon box game for Gen 4, kind of. We'll get to why I said kind of later, but let's just talk about it because I don't think a lot of people talk about Pokemon Ranch. It's very possible that you've never heard of Pokemon Ranch. It was a very obscure WiiWare game, and you can't buy WiiWare games because the Wii Saw channel doesn't exist anymore. So I actually was able to buy this game, I don't know, on release or very close to release, and I've had it on my Wii U ever since. We're starting a new game here because I don't have access to the save file that I used to play this with. So yeah, also find it really funny that if the time is wrong, it tells you to go back to the Wii menu to change it. But for me, because I'm on the Wii U, it's like, no, go back to the Wii U menu, and it just boots me all the way back there. That is so fucking quirky. Honestly, quirky is a very accurate way to describe Pokemon Ranch. It can only interact with 8 different save files, and those 8 different save files, they can't withdraw other save files Pokemon for some reason. Also, as you can see, I'm trying to connect my DS to this game, and I can't. That's because my Pokemon Ranch only works with Diamond and Pearl, unless you are in Japan. Then there is a free 1.0 update that lets it interact with Pokemon Platinum. No other country got this update, so we're screwed. This doesn't even work with HeartGold SoulSilver, even if you have the Japanese version of the update. Pokemon Box had no problems connecting to Leaf Green and Fire Red. I'd assume Pokemon Ranch would be the same way with HeartGold, SoulSilver, and Platinum, but I guess I'm the stupid one here. Funnily enough, Pokemon Box actually has more storage space than Ranch at 1,500 Pokemon. Pokemon Ranch only has storage space for 1,000 Pokemon. Yes, unless you get the Japanese Platinum update. Yes, I don't have it because I don't own a Japanese copy of Pokemon Ranch. How the fuck am I supposed to get a Japanese copy of Pokemon Ranch in my Wii? No, I know I have homebrew. No, we're not going into that. We're not going that deep into this fucking rabbit hole, okay? Holy shit. So yes, if you have Diamond and Pearl only, have fun transferring your Pokemon into Ranch. It doesn't really do much. You can quote-unquote play the game by watching your Pokemon do things. It's not like Pokemon Box where you can really organize things or have different boxes. It's more like a weird life simulator, I guess. It's just one of those fucking WiiWare shovelware games where you just watch things happen and really, that's it. You can also watch your bees walk around. There's not much to say about this game. It's just a very weird oddity. Also, the Pokemon look really fucking ugly. Oh yeah, and I guess for Gen 4, this is the only way to get Mew legitimately, because you can trade for a Mew if you hit the max box limit, which is really high at 1,000, so you're gonna be at that for a while. But hey, if you want a Mew for your Gen 4 games legit, here you go. So he does trade for other Pokemon, but Mew is the most noteworthy one, so that's the only one I feel like mentioning. Also, yes, Pokemon Ranch has some other mechanics that I just don't really feel like going into this because it's a Pokemon Box video, not a Pokemon Ranch video. Maybe one day we will talk about Pokemon Ranch in its entirety, but for now, it's just a little blurb in this Gen 4 bit. So normally, I'd end the Gen 4 bit here, but there's more to talk about. You see, when I did Gen 3, I didn't talk about Leaf Green and Fire Red because they had the same exact box controls as Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. HeartGold SoulSilver is not that case. Oh god, what did they do? You can't turn orange anymore? What the fuck? So, this is like the most aggravating box system I've used since Gen 1. I wish I was kidding. Okay, so now you can only move one Pokemon at a time. You can no longer move multiple Pokemon at a time. On top of that, there's no quick way to move around your Pokemon individually. unless you click on move. There's no button for it. You must click on move first. If you really want to move Pokemon to another box, you have to blindly drop it in there. Why? You can't just grab a Pokemon and just go to another box like other games. When you click on move, this is your only options. Also, while you're holding onto a Pokemon, no, those arrows do not work. So if you realize that those 6 boxes aren't any of the boxes you want that Pokemon to be in, well, I guess you gotta place it down, then move the boxes. That's fun. Actually, it turns out that if you're not using the stylus, you can actually go through the boxes, but you have to not use the stylus when this whole UI is made around the stylus. Brilliant. Hell, L and R just quickly swap between boxes is also just not in this for some reason. Why did they get rid of fucking L and R out of all the things here? It's also great that the cursor just has this really awkward delay in just normal casual use. Cool. This is the most fucking stupid design choice I've ever seen. We went fucking 2 steps back for a remake that's supposed to function better than Platinum. But it's okay, guys. The stylus can move around your Pokemon now, which would be really great if these controls weren't fucking ass. Also, there's no searching function at all on this one, so hooray. There's no reason to mark your Pokemon anymore unless you really want to know that this Pokemon is a certain Pokemon. That's it. I hate these boxes. I hate them so fucking much. Let's move on to Gen 5, everybody! I think the first thing I noticed about Gen 5's boxes is that there's only 8 of them. You'll probably feel a little confused by this at first and wonder where the rest of them are, if there are any more, until you realize that you actually have to unlock the other boxes. But it's nothing crazy, it's just putting a Pokemon in your last box, and then you get a few more boxes and a few more until you get all of your boxes. Really weird, but apparently it helps the game load or save, something along those lines, so that's the reason when they do it. Gen 5 has 24 boxes as opposed to Gen 4's 18, and my god, they actually made the touchscreen controls good, unlike in HeartGold and SoulSilver. As a matter of fact, HeartGold SoulSilver feels like a beta, and this is like the finished product of that box design. Gen 5 actually has a real search system and not a fake one. You no longer need to mark a Pokemon to actually look it up. You can look it up by name, nature, ability, gender, if it's holding an item or not. It's really good. I really like how this is done. Once you figure out what you're looking for, you just turn it on and then there you go. It's that easy. And you just do it for like so many options now. I love this way more because just going on your way to mark a Pokemon just to maybe search it later is annoying. But just having the option to search whatever Pokemon you're looking for, really good. Big improvement. First gen where you can multi-drag things out of your party, so if you just want to move multiple Pokemon at once out of your party, there you go. The last thing they added in Gen 5 related to boxes is the Battle Box, which is not really a box, but it is part of the Pokemon storage system, so I guess we're talking about it. Basically, you put 6 Pokemon in here that you want to use for multiplayer. That's it. They're not really like extra box space. Well, I guess it is technically 6 extra slots, but you can't easily access this and it's kind of annoying to use. If you play a lot of competitive though, it was probably nice, but for me, the casual box connoisseur, don't really care for it. Nice that it's there though. Not for me. I'm just really glad that Gen 5 is a step forward. After HeartGold and SoulSilver's abysmal box controls with the touchscreen, these are just what they should have been in the first place, and I'm very glad these basically become a staple. Gen 6 is going to make me sound like I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel here because there really isn't that much more to talk about. The only real major change I noticed is that the Battle Box is not in its own separate menu. It actually has its own place in the PC now. And now with the search function, you can look up Pokemon that can learn certain HMs and TMs. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot here to it. Just like Black and White, and I guess now the new series staple, is that you get more more boxes, the more boxes you fill in, and the maximum boxes you get in Gen 6 is 31. The reason why it's 31 is because they preserve an extra box, just so you can catch the box legendary. God, can you just imagine playing black or white, and you can't actually catch Reshiram or Zekrom? Well, they thought of that, I guess, because, I mean, I guess you could fill up all your boxes, but that's a lot of Pokemon, man. You really gonna catch 720 Pokemon in black and white? And for this game, 930? Like, damn! You're gonna be going on a catching spree. I don't want to imagine how much money that would cost. And that's why they have the extra box there, because that technically could have happened in Pokemon Black and White, which is really weird to think about, but still, they thought up everything. They also added an option where you can view your boxes as folders, and you can drag them around and move them around and replace where they are, or you can just tap on them to jump to that box instantly. Honestly, it's just really nice quality of life here. I think it's neat, even though I really never took advantage of it. Outside of that, Y is now your quick select for searching Pokemon, and the cursor is just way faster in Gen 6, like really fast. That's really about it. Not that Gen 6 is underwhelming, but you really don't want to fix something that ain't broke, in my opinion. And that basically describes Gen 6's box designs in particular. They basically perfected it with Gen 5, so why mess with it? It works pretty good, so I don't know. Everything here also applies to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but in those games you get your extra box when you catch a Rayquaza. Also, this is the generation that introduced Pokemon Bank. Pokemon Bank is the first time we've had something like Pokemon Box since Pokemon Box. I mean, I guess Ranch counts. Ranch is just so fucking awkward. I don't want to think about that. So for $5 a year, you get 100 boxes. You also can transfer Pokemon from Black and White and Black and White 2 to, well, any of the newer games in general. It's not just X and Y, because they just transferred them straight to Bank. From there, you can transfer them to X and Y, the Home Remake games, Sun and Moon, the Ultra games, and eventually Home. But we'll get to Home later in this video, which is already really long. Jesus Christ. So I think you're getting your money's worth for $5, but if you don't want to pay $5, you're in luck, because in 2023 this is going to be free. Basically, because the eShop is going down, they'll have no way to accept your money. They just decide to just axe the payment and make it for free until the service gets shut down. But until then, $5 now.
Give it to me.
Bank controls the same way as X and Y and every other Gen 6 and onward games, so there's really nothing else to really go into. It's really nice. There's no wallpapers, you can rename boxes, and Pokemon Bank has its own Pokedex, which syncs with your game files. That way you can get a national dex on Pokemon Bank without having to transfer your Pokemon over if you really don't want to transfer them over. Which I guess may not be a bad idea. Once a Gen 6 Pokemon is transferred over to a Gen 7 game, it can't be transferred back. And matter of fact, Pokemon Bank does this thing where it actually shows a little white box around the Pokemon to let you know that it can't be transferred to that game. Honestly, it does suck that you can't transfer Pokemon from Gen 7 back to Gen 6. But I understand it's probably something on the coding back end that doesn't make it easy, or it just makes it impossible without really corrupting your game or something like that. Outside of that, that's basically all Pokemon Bank has to offer. It still controls nice, there's nothing weird about it. It's neat. You know, I thought I was scraping the bottom of the barrel when I was talking about the Gen 6 boxes, but Gen 7? I guess I might as well be. There's really not much to talk about here. The first thing you actually might have noticed is that there's no more withdrawal or deposit anymore. You just instantly go into moving boxes when you interact with the PC. They made it so now you have 6 battle boxes, which are now just called team boxes, so that's neat, I guess. Move items now is just a toggle, as opposed to before where it's its own separate thing in the menu. So you no longer have to leave your box to move items, it's just you press a button and boom, it's there. Gen 7 just added one more box, so now the total Pokemon you can hold is 960, which is pretty good. And you can check your Pokemon's IVs in the boxes. This will let you know if your Pokemon has good IVs or not, and that's really about it. Yeah, we didn't really get anything new outside of the IV Judger, but we didn't really need to. Boxes at this point kind of feel like they've reached their peak. And there's really not much you could do to make them like more extravagant, I guess. This has the quality of life from Gen 5 and Gen 6 in it. And it has the search function. It has all this good stuff. And it also loads fast. It moves around Pokemon pretty fast. Like, honestly, they didn't really need to do much to the boxes. They just kind of kept them the same. Added the IB Judger. It's pretty good. Gen 7 may be kind of lackluster because there's nothing really new to talk about outside of that. But hey, it works fine. They don't have to really add anything or try to fix anything when it's just pretty good as it is. So there it is. Gen 7. Done. Oh yeah, that's right, this is Gen 7 too. Fuck. Pokemon Let's Go does have a box system, and I don't know if it's technically a spin-off or not, but because it has a very huge effect on the future games, so I guess I need to talk about Pokemon Let's Go now, which I really hate the controls for this game. I'm just gonna say that flat out. It has nothing to do with this video. I just need everybody to know that somebody out there thought you should just play this game with one Joy-Con as the only fucking option unless you're playing handheld mode. Alright, with that out of my system, this box is just one box. One box that can hold 1,000 Pokemon, and it's kinda clunky. I wouldn't say it's bad per se, but if you're here for organizing things, well, good luck. You can sort Pokemon by all these options that you can see on the screen here. Some of these terms are Pokemon Go terms, which I don't know what the fuck a CP is, but yeah, that's the thing, alright? You also might have noticed that I opened this menu within my party menu. This is the first Pokemon game to basically make it so you don't have to go to the PC to withdraw or deposit Pokemon. Really weird how this is the first one, and it's also kind of weird to me that this became a series staple from this point onward. For some reason I thought Sword and Shield started this, but then I remembered no, Let's Go technically did beforehand, so there's that. Let's Go also lets you release multiple Pokemon at once, which is not a thing apparently, and really was only added in this game because of how the catching mechanics are. Honestly, this is still really nice because before you can only release a Pokemon one at a time. And while you're not really releasing a ton of Pokemon, most likely, it's good if you're like breeding a lot of eggs or just catching a lot of Pokemon just to make sure you're getting it in the right nature or IVs or whatever. So it's a welcome addition, even if it's only for Pokemon Let's Go's gimmick. And now Gen 7 is over. Yeah, like, there's not really anything more to say. It's just a list of Pokemon. There's no like individual boxes, there's no wallpapers. It's just, here's a list of all your Pokemon. Enjoy. You can still move individual Pokemon around in Let's Go's boxes, but they get easily buried in lists. It's just you lose track of them so easy. Favoriting Pokemon can help with that, but for the most part, I just don't mess with it because it's just gonna get buried. And there's just so many Pokemon here. It's a little overwhelming to look at, to be honest with you. Moving on. Okay, I'm struggling right now because I was messing around with the Gen 8 boxes for a little bit, and the only real thing I noticed that Gen 8 added technically was that now when you hold LNR to quickly swap through boxes, your cursor stays in that spot. I say technically because it was a Gen 4, but then they scrapped it until now, so that's really weird. But yeah, that's really it. That's all Gen 8 has to offer. Like, what do you expect me to say? Like, we're running out of things here. Sword and Shield don't even add any new boxes either, so it's not like, oh, you know, they added an extra box. Like, no, it's the same amount of boxes you got in Sun and Moon. There's nothing new here. There's nothing else really for me to talk about. Just like in X and Y, to unlock the final box, you have to catch the legendary. This time, it's not the box legendary, it's the Eternus, which is like the third legendary. He's like the Rayquaza of the three, you know, like there's like the 2 box legendaries and there's like a third legendary. Yeah, that's the one you have to catch to unlock that final box. Generation 8 is the first generation to introduce Pokemon Home, which is a Nintendo Switch app and is also a mobile app. We're not really going to be talking about the mobile app that much. Just know that it's basically the same thing except you can Wonder Trade on there. That's really about it. But the Switch version, it basically is just the same as before. You select the game that you want to do stuff with, From there, you go in, you move your boxes around, it's nothing crazy. Home, so far, has the biggest storage space out of any Pokemon game, with 200 boxes, which can hold up to a total of 6,000 Pokemon. Pokemon Home has the most advanced search options so far out of any Pokemon game. All the old search options are there, but now you can actually look up Pokemon by their original trainer ID, by if they're shiny or not, if they have Pokerus, their regional Pokedex, and on top of that, you can instantly just jump to that box where that Pokemon is. It's really convenient, which I'm glad because there's 200 boxes. I don't want to imagine shifting through all of them just to find 1 or 2 Pokemon. Home also has its own Pokedex just like Pokemon Bank, and it actually can sync itself up with your Pokemon Bank Pokedex, which means there's less Pokemon you have to transfer over if you want to complete National Dex in Pokemon Home. That could be really good because Pokemon Home, you're not too sure when you're going to be using these Pokemon, so instead of them just sitting in Pokemon Home for who knows how many years, you can at least keep them in other games where you might actually use them. Pokemon Home also gives you a detailed list of what Pokemon you deposited and withdrawn from the service, and from what game, if you're curious. It can be nice if you want to keep track of things, but it's just kind of there. I don't know. Pokemon Home also has other stats it keeps track of, which you can see on screen here. And it has some little to-do list stuff of what Pokemon you should be putting in your boxes. Nothing crazy, but you know, for fun. You can also transfer Pokemon from Bank and Go into Home. Pokemon Home costs $3 a month to use, or you can pay it off for a whole year for $16. Your mileage will vary on that. I think it's just alright, but I only feel that way because you can't transfer all your Pokemon to all the newer games. Either way, this is the best box system we have so far, genuinely. It's just really smooth to use. Legends gets an honorable mention because it doesn't really add anything new, nor does it really take anything away. It's just Pokemon Legends. They're not boxes, they're pastures because we're in the ye olden times when computers don't exist yet. Okay, we're mostly done, but I want to mention 2 spin-off Pokemon games that I'm probably going to get comments about, so here we go. Coliseum only has 3 boxes in it. The box controls are basically kind of minimal. You can make your hand orange, but you can't multi-select Pokemon. To be fair, you're only supposed to have 48 Pokemon in that game, which can barely fill up 2 boxes, so having a 3rd box is kind of nice for breathing room, even though you're probably never going to use it. But hey, it's there. Pokemon XD has 8 boxes, which can store up to 240 Pokemon. You're more likely to actually fill these ones because, as annoying as it is to do, you can catch wild Pokemon in Pokemon XD. Just like in Pokemon Coliseum, you cannot select multiple Pokemon and move multiple Pokemon at the same time. Whatever. It is what it is, it works. It's nothing supposed to be too deep. After all, it's a spin-off game. And that is every Pokemon box in every generation except for Gen 9, and watch, people are gonna find this video when Gen 9 comes out because knowing my luck, and I'm gonna get so many comments being like, but you didn't cover Gen 9, you didn't cover Gen 9, Gen 9 wasn't out, leave me alone. God, I spent 2 months making a video just talking about Pokemon boxes for over a half hour. What has become of my life? Oh, well, it was worthwhile. Maybe. Who knows? I don't. Bye. I can't believe it, we're finally here. Like, this is the end of the video, end slate time. I actually genuinely didn't think I was gonna get this far. This was an idea I've had for a few months now, and it slowly kinda came to fruition. A lot of it had to do with the fact that I had a lot of overtime at my job, and I just needed to actually sit down and do this. Plus, I had a convention to go to, and a few other things in my life kind of came up. So yeah, thank you anybody who's watched this far. Oh my god, I'm gonna screw up. I'm gonna say stupid things on this part. This is not gonna be perfect. We're going in it. I want to also especially thank Sephiroth1204 or Dobie. He got all the 3DS footage you're gonna see in this, all of it. Without him, I would have probably had to scrap this or just made it like, oh, here's all one part, where it's just gens 1 through 5, but I knew for a fact that would not make the video good, and on top of that, it just felt kind of dumb to be like, oh, here's most of the content of this video in one video, and then there's another video which only will have like some of it. Also, thanks to FizzyJ for making all my avatars. That's the first time I ever got to use these things. I've had them for quite a while, and there they are. They're actually usable. And thanks again to Parse Noir, who made my little ScribbleTuber thing. This doesn't really appear that much in the videos. I kind of use that as an asset in some parts, but not really. And it's also just here for the end slate. There's one more person I'd like to thank before this video is over, and that's Strekks. Strekks isn't really active here on YouTube or really anywhere at the moment, but I want to thank them either way because they basically kind of motivated me to make a video like this. Not this particular video. As a matter of fact, they probably have no idea that I made this or even credited them. But I've always wanted to credit them in a video as a special thanks because without them, I wouldn't have wanted to make like a video like this, like a, well, I guess this isn't a video essay, but something like a long form video like this. And they tried to help me out very early on. And while that really didn't lead anywhere, that motivation kind of eventually led me here. And I really appreciate it so much. Strekks, if you're watching this somehow, I really mean it. Thank you. Thank you so much. So if you like this video, please subscribe. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. I'm a fucking YouTuber. I hate saying that, but I genuinely mean it because I'm going to be posting more videos like this in the future that probably won't take 2 months to come out, but they will take a while. You can blame overtime for that, baby, because I don't get a lot of time to actually work on these videos. I do have a Patreon though, so if you want to just sub to that, the more money I get for that, the faster these things come out. Genuinely, I mean that. And also, please share this video around if you can. I'm probably not going to be saying that stuff every video, just mainly for this one, because this is the first video on a new channel. But thank you so much for watching my stupid video on Pokemon boxes. I had a lot of fun making this, even though it was stressful and it did take a long time to make. But it was worth it, I think, in the end. It was a fun video. Thank you so much and goodbye!